I keep sharing my memories with you because I'm writing my autobiography. So it's something I share live with all my friends. So this is like a digital autobiography. So my friend, this was year 1996. My I had a very good regimental officer, Thomas Panikkar, and he was from Kerala. So while proceeding on casual leave, he invited me to accompany him for a few days and spend and see this God's own land, Kerala, with him. He took me to his residence, Trivandrum, and this was my first maiden visit to Kerala. On the very next day, his family was a great devotees of Mata Amrita Nandamai. Till the time I had not heard of her name. So he said, let's visit her. And visit her mutt. And since you are already interested in knowing such godmen and people, and we went. We decided, one fine morning, we drove to Ma Anandamai's mutt. So let me tell you, my friends, today I'm going to talk about her. Ma Amrita Nand Mai's real name was Valikamma, and her mutt was situated in a village called, I said, Valikamma. This is situated along the Arabian Sea coast on the Cochin-Trivandrum highway. There I got to know that her real name was Valikamma, and her devotees, they worshipped her as Mata Amrita Nandamai. And she has a huge following. The route to her mutt was marked with red flags, pictures of Karl Marx, Lenin, Stalin, because this was a communist country. And her mutt, as she said, this was the Lord Krishna's country. Presided over by Ma Amritanandamai, and the road ended at the broad canal. Then you have to hire a boat to take you across to the mutt. While we were going there, my friend was telling me about something about her background and the stories which were prevalent in that areas. She was the second daughter of a family of 8 children belonging to a tribe of fishermen. She was born on 27th November, sometime 1953. She was a precious child and was able to talk only when 6 months old, and ran around before she was only 2. She went to school, studied up to class 5th, and then she found she knew more than was required for class 10th. She gave up. She was wavered and often went into trances very frequently. Her parents got tired of her. She moved over to her uncle, but soon decided to live on her own, making her ends meet by stitching clothes. Humble beginning. I was told that she was uncommonly, when I saw her, actually uncommonly attractive, and had many suitors sought her hand. Then she was fully absorbed in word and meditation. She also saw herself as a Kanya Kumari and decided to remain unmarried all her life. Some of the many young men who were drawn to her took a vow of brahmacharya and stayed on her with her. Needless to say, much gossip and scandals were spread about the goings on in the mutt. She ignored it. Many scandals attributed to her how she turned water into milk, gave tulsi leaves to fishermen to get more than their catch, how while in a trance she was declared dead for 8 hours. She no longer indulges in performing miracles. Now they say, and I was told her chief miracle, as I said before, is the enormous warmth which oozes out from her body. And when our turn came, the meeting was fixed. I met her, was admired, looked at her, and I asked my first question to her, as usual I ask to all the godwins I meet: how can one overcome the fear of death? Her answer was translated to me, because she could speak Malayalam. Thomas Panikkar was translating it to me. She said, the body is physical and must perish on death, but life continues. It's like an electric bulb which fuses, but the current continues. If you cut your finger, you will not heal by simple looking at it. You have to apply medicine to it. If you fear death, find the means of overcoming. Find that means of overcoming that fear. Anyhow, why do you ask me a question to which you know the answers? I ask because I do not know. And there are people who have doubts about a life hereafter because there is no evidence to support it. You cannot totally rule it out, she continued. In any case, it serves a useful social purpose. You tell a child that if he lies, it will go blind. It's not true at all, but a useful ploy to keep it on the path of truth. At least he will not tell lies for the fear of going blind. This is what it is. No, there may be some justification to keep the illiterate masses on the right path by frightening them of consequences. But that does not apply to a thinking person. I am quite happy to admit that I do not know what she was claiming. She smiled. She smiles most of the time. Deliberately, she kept that smile on her face and replied, it's not only through personal experiences that you realize everything. You have to accept the experience of sages and rishis who trained themselves to attain mystic knowledge. Take a simple example. Mix sugar with the white sand, she says. You will not be able to sift one from the other, but an ant will unerringly take the sugar and leave out the sand. Yes, then I change the topic. I say I don't need, there are a lot of people, they are atheists, they are agnostics. They claim that they don't need God to make them feel good. They claim that they can sustain from others without believing in God. Denying in God is like lying on the ground and spitting on the sky. The spit will only fall on your face, she replied gently but firmly. If there is God, why bad thing happens to good people? She replied, to the God fearing, it's a fate. It is a punishment of evil deeds done in past lives. To the non-believers, it is an accident. If a child is born blind, the believers will ascribe it to sins committed in the previous lives. The non-believers, in some, they will claim some hormonal deficiency in the parents. Now my friend Thomas Panikkar, he interrupted the dialogue and asked her, do you believe in heaven or hell? She said, heaven and hell are here on this earth. You do something bad, and your presence will make life a living hell. And that's how we finished our interview. And as I turned around to leave, I saw a sallow, bloodless, faced European girl who had been standing like a marble statue at the door. Take ice cubes out of a flask and gently rubs rub the metal face lips and arms with them. I was told that every encounter Mata had with people, it raises her body's temperature to dangerous levels. She takes on their ailments and sins on herself, and people go totally relieved. So having been I consider myself having been a sinner all my life. She must have required a lot of ice cubes to get rid of the fever that contact with me must have brought it on her. Amazing, unique. It's interesting to such people, and put them across with my FAQs, the frequently asked questions, which I've been asking all the governments and such intellectuals who has got a huge fan following. Thank you very much.